really good start for us to be able to keep momentum on our sideline there early in the game. I thought was really big, and then just, we were able to gain some separation there. Actually had a chance, I felt like, to even, do a better job there. A couple third down calls that I need to do a better job with. Gave up a big kickoff return that, can stem the tide, and that's what we keep talking to our guys about, man. It's when you have momentum, you got to ride that wave as long as you can on your sideline and get every last ounce of momentum out of those times, and then when it gets taken away from you, you got to work, your butt off to be able to get it back on your sideline. So, second half wasn't what we wanted. We came out. I thought we were good at halftime. The guys had a good look in their eye. They understood that, in this league, you got to play 4 quarters in order to be successful, and then, got to give Youngstown some credit. They were gonna bow up and play. That's a good football team. They weren't just gonna lay down and let us get out of here with a big victory. So the fourth quarter, to be able to run the football and finish the game the way we did, I thought was important. And then, just a good, solid win, for us. Some things that we can still improve on, but thought the start was really good. And then the finish, we just got to be better in the third quarter.
Questions for the players?
Well, Jonnie, what'd you think of how you guys tried to slow down their quarterback?
I think we kind of just tuned in to the game plan throughout the week, and we knew that he was going to be a good player as far as his legs and his arm goes. So I think it was more so just have faith in the game plan and the guys next to you and just try to limit them as best as we could.
What do you, from a player's perspective, what did you make of the lull in the third quarter? Anything you kind of attribute that to, or like what did you think of just kind of, Youngstown State stealing the momentum?
I think they probably came out a little faster than us coming out of halftime, but we knew as a team and as a defense that they was going to fight to the very end, so we just got to keep straining to keep getting stops and get the ball back to our offense.
Well, Gaven, what your second touchdown run from the one there, was Youngstown making it pretty tough for you guys to punch that one in? That was a long drive.
Yeah, it was an 8-minute drive, and I think that's what kind of sealed the game right there. And when I go in on those situations, I gotta finish the drive off, and I give all the credit to the O-line, and I think they did a really good job just fighting and staying in there. And I know they were tired, but I think they did a really good job just staying in it and believing us. So
the offense was really hot early. What do you think you guys did well offensively there to jump out to that lead?
I think just starting fast. I think the first drive we did really well. Scored right away, and I think just keeping that momentum going. I think it was 28 straight points or whatever it was. I think we got on them, and I think that's really important. And I think just even with the O-line blocking and stuff like that too, just that long run I had too. That's all them. And I think I just for me it's just about finishing those kind of runs. And so yeah.
What did you think of? There was a 4th and 2. Jerry Kaminsky kept it on a keeper, but he had to juke a guy. Did you know he had that elusiveness in him? What have you seen from Jerry's escapability?
Yeah, for sure. He can make anyone miss. He's not just a pocket passer. He can run the ball too. That's why we do those kind of plays to keep the defense disciplined. And that's just it's a good play by him. So.
Gaven, obviously, coming off last year, seeing a little bit more carries compared to this year. Just what do you make of finding the end zone twice, and how have you kind of stayed engaged throughout the course of the season, seeing maybe less production than years past?
I think just staying ready. We got 3 really good running backs, and some games are different than others. I think some games you're going to want to get downhill on teams, and some games you're going to want to spread it out and, throw quick game passes and stuff like that. And I think, just being able to stay ready, and the coach is doing a really good job at just keep me prepared and stuff. And, I think everyone's done a really good job. It doesn't matter how much playing time I get. I just want to win. So.
Anything else for the players? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Sorry, guys. You got it. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
Coach, what did you think of how your guys handled your game plan for their quarterback, and what did you, now that you saw him live, like what's your takeaway of just how he affects a game?
I thought our mindset was really good, actually, just even getting on the plane, Tommy, in Iowa on Saturday night last week, we talked about just respecting the process. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into winning, and you got to be loyal to winning. You know, there's a lot of really good. You know, I've been around a lot of really good players, you know, throughout my career that never ever were able to earn a ring. You know, and a lot of really good teams that I've been around that never ever won a trophy. And I think it just takes more than talent. You know, and that's what we talk to our guys about. That, you know, day in and day out, you got to be loyal to win. You got to get up. It's relentless pursuit of continuous improvement. We have that written all over, you know, our facility, and I just like their mindset. Our assistant coaches do a great job of spreading the messages. You know, I think we have a good pulse on who our guys are and how they'll respond, you know, to goods and bad things. And, you know, I thought we got off the plane and we were already, sometimes, you know, we talk about a 24-hour rule, we want you to celebrate it, but guys were already back to kind of ground zero and ready to start, you know, going to work here and ready for Youngstown State. So I thought it started there. We still, you know, there was still some plays out there where it was, you know, some matchup issues as far as who we had trying to spy him, trying to shadow him. He creates a lot of issues. Maybe the one thing I was really pleased with is, you know, some of the short yardage situations, the 3rd and 4th downs. They're hard regardless of who you're playing. But then you get a guy like that back there now that can run the ball and who's like a running back. Like, now that's another blocker that they have in front of him, you know, and he finds a way to be able to get those yards. And I thought our guys really, you know, bowed their neck in those situations and played well. And I think we were, you know, really good on what we call the money down situations, 3rd and 4th down, and really in some short yard situations. We, you know, wasn't anything that was, you know, schematically that we did great. It was just guys out there just playing really, really hard. And we say that all the time, man. Like, we're going to pour into these guys and help them, but it's always about the guys in between the white lines. You know what I mean? Like, if we didn't have them, I'd just be a fat mid 40-year-old guy hanging out. So that's awesome that those guys just play hard and do those things. But yeah, I mean, he's a unique talent, right? Like, he's really, really good. I think, you know, when he has the ball in the open field, it seems like everybody else is just stopping, staring at him, you know, and he's running down the sideline. It's just, he has a unique ability to be able to make guys miss and circle guys. And I just thought our guys, you know, just kept breathing on him. You know what I mean? Just kept making it hard for him. Like, every blade of grass that he got, like, he earned it, you know, and that's what we talked about with those guys is, hey, just make them earn it, you know. And I thought 1 and 4 are really good players. You know, we knew they were going to throw it at times, and it was still a hard cover. You know, like, we have a really good safety. Zach Lewis is a really good player, you know, and he ran right by Zach, you know, one time off of it. And we got to do a better job of, you know, trying to play with our hands and taking some steam off of that guy. But they got some guys, you know, on their side of the ball too as well that have been proven players. You know, Ford's a proven player in this league. He was all conference first team last year, and he's gritty, you know. And then I just thought, you know, we did a good job there. And then I thought our quarterback made some runs too as well. You know, like you mentioned it, Jerry's run there, like, that's just competing. You know, it's a one-on-one situation. And once again, it's, you know, the reason we call those plays is it's players over plays. Like, we know there's probably going to be a one-on-one situation. Can you go beat a one-on-one and get 2 yards? You know, and I'm gonna bet on Jerry Kaminsky every time, you know, to be able to do that. So it was awesome for him to be able to do that and keep our offense on the field.
What did you think of going for it early, like 4th and 3, pop pass to Hayden Stay, who has to make a really good catch, I thought.
Yeah, no, and he's stumbling kind of before the ball's in the air, so then it gets a little bit even harder. You know what I mean? It was about as ugly of a pop pass. You know, that thing was hanging in the air, and he had to, as he was stumbling, he tried to speed up to be able to go get the ball yet because, you know, Jerry was under a little bit of duress, so it wasn't like, you know, he could just throw it up there and let Hayden run underneath it. But, I mean, that's just who we are. Like, I mean, people, you know, it's a new age of football. Like, you're going to try to, you know, maximize every possession that you can. Field goals, obviously, it's important to get points, but you got to try to stress defenses as much as you can. And when you get down in there that far, it's, you know, even the one that Ziebarth put in, like, we were going for it on 4th down. I just told the guys, I get it that, hey, we were going to kick the field goal. We thought we could, you know, we went on, we really felt like they were looking at our hand, you know what I mean? And that was the trigger for those guys to go. So we went on the second hand off of that and got the kid to jump. And, I mean, if you really look at the college football and you look at, you know, the percentages, if you get stopped at 4th and 1 on the 1 going in, your defense the next series has a better chance to score points than their offense does. Like that will what football will tell you that. So it's like, hey, go for it. They're backed up. Yeah, you could make it a 14-point game, but it's still a 2-score game. At the end of the day, to make it a 14-point game. But yeah, I think our guys, we game plan that way. I was in Isaac's ear. I'm like, hey, you like your 4th down play? Let's go. And like I said before, like we have people that are, telling us what the book says and what's a go and what's a punt and what's a kick and all those things. And we want to, we're going to go with our gut. And, but we're definitely, when we have momentum, we felt like it was important to try to get touchdowns there and not field goals.
And then last one for me, I'll pass it on here. Like mid-4th quarter, I think might have been on your game-winning drive there, game-sealing drive. But Jerry was snapping the ball with maybe 15 to 17 seconds as you're kind of milking the clock a little bit. Is that a situation like is it one of those things where you're still kind of trying to hurry up the offense, or would you have liked to seen him snapping the ball with 1 second left on the clock, or what are you weighing there?
Yeah, no, I think the part that was the most disappointing for us was like we just went 3 and out so much to start. We were just couldn't get anything going, throwing the ball and not completing passes. So now we're in 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs off of it. There's still a tempo and a rhythm. We're trying to shorten the game, obviously, as much as we can. But at the same token, guys just standing over the ball, standing in the huddle, like it just kind of it takes some of the just the rhythm of the quarterback and those types of things, out of the game. We did go to some milk it situations, at the end of the game where, hey, we're gonna wait till it's under 5 before we snap the ball. But yeah, I think you're trying to shorten the game there as much as you can. The strategy is to obviously give them the least amount of possessions as they can, and you're trying to earn as many first downs as you can to make them have to burn their timeouts, which I thought our offense, we didn't do anything fancy there at the end. Like Sawyer just, being able to hit creases full speed, get first downs, and now they gotta waste all their timeouts. And I just think, you look at college football, you look at NFL football, and at the end of games, there's so many games that are won because guys are disciplined and lost because guys are undisciplined, right? Like that game, us having to kick a field goal there is a big deal, for us to be able to not do that and then go score a touchdown was, I thought, definitely brought a little bit of juice back to our sideline and got guys feeling like, all right, we're back in control here. So yeah, that's something we'll look at. We didn't feel like at that point right there that it was, hey, a milk it situation, but definitely something we'll look at here, tomorrow.
Coach, you mentioned Sawyer. Obviously, he's a dynamic back. To have a guy like Gaven behind him and to have a multi-touchdown game, even though he doesn't see as many carries maybe as years past, just what's that say about him?
Yeah, I think, DJ does a great job. Coach Davis just, keeping breathing life into him. I think Gaven has a lot of maturity. He understands that, there's competition in that room and that he's an important piece of that room. Like I still, I'm a big Gaven Ziebarth fan. Like I just think, getting that kid downhill and having him really pound on defenses. Like I've been over there. You get tired of tackling like that guy after a while. And Sawyer, like you said, is really dynamic, and X is, a guy that in his own right is a good back too as well. But I just think Gav is he's a mature football player. He's been here a long time. The best teams that I've been around, there's Gaven Ziebarth that are leading, the locker room. Like it's player led through guys like him, and he understands that, hey, this season, like it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. There's going to be good days, bad days. There's going to be, games where you're the featured guy, and there may be other games where, hey, Sawyer's, feeling it and in a rhythm, and we go with him. But I just think it takes, a stable of running backs. If you're going to, run the football, I think we ran it 45 times today. So, who we want to be, like, it can't be one guy back there. Like, you get that much, guys getting hit and getting that much wear and tear on one back, man. It's hard to be able to stay consistent throughout an entire year.
BJ Fleming continues to have big game after big game. Does it surprise you every time that he goes out there and continues to dominate for you guys on offense?
I'm really happy with his development. Coach Bradshaw and what he's been able to do with BJ. His game the last 3 weeks, maybe a month, it's just been completely different. He's practicing. He's more sudden. He's more detailed and polished in everything he's doing. And then it just shows up. Like I said earlier, I think you really push these guys hard all year long. Like we talk about precise training and how important that is throughout the entire year. And we do those things, you know, like I said before, not for early in the year. We do those things for October, November, December. Like that's why you train, you know, out on the edges all the time. And I think, you know, BJ now has really, really bought into, you know, the polishing and detailing of his game. And you can tell that, like, he's training at a really high level. He's practicing at a high level, and you don't rise to the occasion, right? Like, you fall to the level you're training, and he's playing really, really well right now.